I appreciate you guys' honesty and thanks for coming on. It was nice to meet you.
You need some veggies. You need some green leafies for sure. There's absolutely, like, you're missing out on
Yeah, like,
many things.
I thought that too, but then when I actually look at what I'm missing out on,
The fat that you are consuming is, like, that, long term, you can't sustain that.
What's wrong with fat?
You can't have that, like, the amount of fat that you're going to be having, the oils. The cholesterol, yeah. Like,
So I'm curious.
What's wrong with cholesterol?
So I'm curious with your... I'm studying to be a naturopath, by the way, so
Oh,
this
cool.
is quite
For
interesting.
your arteries, like...
Hey guys, today we're with
Sophie.
Nice to meet you, Sophie.
Hey.
I'm Daniel. She is a vegan. So how long have you been a vegan for?
I've been vegan 8 years.
8
last
years.
month.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the sort of main benefits you've seen on the vegan diet?
I just feel more, like, in tune with myself because I love animals and the planet. So
Yeah,
that's
cool.
been the biggest for me. But health-wise, it's awesome too.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I love animals a lot too, and I know I eat animals, but the sort of thing that makes me a bit cautious about eating plants in the vegan diet is I understand that like animals and plants in an evolutionary arms race, and while they don't want to be eaten at all, they're trying to survive, and while animals can sort of run away and protect themselves through physical matters, a lot of plants are stuck in the ground, so they induce a lot of defense mechanisms to protect themselves, such as like oxalates, tannins, phytates, salicylates, and like fiber and stuff. So what sort of would you say to someone who said that? Are you not worried about the defense mechanisms in plants at all? Or?
So you don't eat plants?
No, I don't.
You just eat meat? Just animal products?
Yeah, so
Interesting.
I haven't eaten plants in 4 months. I don't eat any plants, any pasta, any vegetables.
Okay.
And my health has been amazing. Like every single metric of health, I've lost almost 30 kilos.
Have you done blood tests?
Yeah, I've done blood tests. All my levels are fine. And yeah, so because I was trying to learn about the vegan diet, but I'm just seeing all these defense mechanisms in plants, and I'm just not really too sure if they're too healthy. So do you think there's any benefits of eating vegetables or any things that I would be missing out on by not eating plants?
So many. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist.
Yeah.
So I can't speak to the science of it, but so many things. You know that too.
Can you please name one benefit that I would be missing out on?
I think, yeah. For starters, when you've talked about fibre, for your stomach and for just going to the bathroom, that in itself, I feel like if you're just consuming meat, that is also the nitrates in the meat, other than they're quite cancerous if you continue to consume that over an extended period of time as well.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a concern.
Yeah, cool. See, nitrates are mainly found in processed meats, and I don't really have processed meats, and I'm pretty sure our saliva even makes more nitrates than the ones that are found in processed meats. And with this sort of fiber thing, just off anecdotal evidence, firstly, my bowel movements have literally been better than ever. Same as Ed. Our digestion is amazing. No constipation. Only meat, sometimes grain-fed, mainly grass-fed meat, butter, eggs, bacon, sausages and stuff. And so, do you think?
But again, you're only going off 4 months. So look, I feel like you have some argument. This is interesting. I've actually never heard this
100%.
before. But I'd like to see this over say 3-year period or something, as a study, or I don't know how you could get someone to I don't know. But
there's actually one study done by it's the only clinical study and randomized control trial done by Paul Mason in Sydney.
Okay.
And that's the only proper study done on fiber. All the others are just correlative, nutritional, large scale, which aren't too accurate. And it actually showed that people on a high fiber diet have the most constipation, and then every time it progresses, medium fiber, less constipation, low fiber, less, and then no fiber, zero constipation, and
what about all the studies that have been done on high levels of meat? I know you're saying that it's the quality maybe, but cancer and those kind of things. I feel like there's a lot of studies being done.
Well, I sort of hear that.
General knowledge, I think.
No. You hear that? That's when I first started the carnivore diet, I'm I'm worried about getting cancer and stuff. But if you actually take a second to look into the research, we actually know that there's no causative evidence that shows that meat has any negative health effects whatsoever. Most of the studies are they.
That claim is a big claim.
That's-
Like,
There's zero. No, it's
calling
fact.
it
Zero,
right now.
no.
No, but it's actually fact. There's no causative evidence. It's all correlative, and a lot of the stuff that shows it's like they do multi-scale surveys. So they'll go say to people, "Do you eat meat?" And then the people who eat meat, they eat pizzas, but that's considered meat because there's meat on it. Or they eat McDonald's, and because you've got the bread, the sugary fries with seed oils and stuff, that's considered meat. And also people who
I feel like if you want to go down this route, and I think it's interesting,
Yeah.
you just make sure you have all your evidence attached
Yeah.
so that people can look in.
Yeah, I
into
do.
something.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah. So I've just sort of, because also people who are on the vegan diets or eating more plants, also more likely to not be smoking. They're more likely to be doing exercise, not really be drinking alcohol, because they really care about their health. Because vegans, care about their health. So yeah, and with sort of the fiber thing, like we can't even really digest fiber or break it down whatsoever. Like just sort of understanding the mechanisms of how our digestive system works, and fiber is like sort of putting a plastic bag in your stomach. It sort of just blocks the nutrients. And like fat is the real thing that we should be using to help with our stools. And it was only around 1960 or 1970 when everyone started doing the low fat diet, then everyone got really constipated. So then everyone started eating heaps of fiber. And yes, it fixes it in the short term, but we have seen a lot of these issues like irritable bowel syndrome.
Well, I can tell you, I know, like, just on my, like, I'm not vegan, but
Yeah.
I have been going more plant-based
Cool,
the last 4
cool.
years, and I've done a lot of, like,
Yeah,
talked to a lot of people. I used to, like, I haven't been diagnosed with IBS, but I
Yeah.
definitely have a lot of issues with my stomach, and my stomach has definitely improved
Cool.
since not eating as much meat.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's the processing.
Cool.
Like, it's a lot lighter on the stomach.
You can't deny your own experience, of course. But I'm just saying we run a YouTube channel and thousands, like everyone is healing from IBS. So if keep doing what you're doing, and if something doesn't work, then
Yeah.
I know it might seem
No,
way out of
I'm
this
open-
world.
I'm open-minded, so I'm listening
Yeah,
to
yeah.
what you're saying.
Because-
I've never really heard this kind of
Because we
take
know
on
that
it, but
fiber can put stress on the colon and the bowel,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even patients after having surgery on their colon and their gut, the doctors tell them to have low fiber diets because you don't want to stress the bowel.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm saying might seem crazy because
No, look, like,
it might seem like a conspiracy
open to
theorist,
different-
but I'm really just trying to question a lot of the mainstream
no, that's cool.
thing.
I
But
respect that.
yeah, it's really
Like you're missing out on.
yeah. Like
anything.
I thought that too, but then when I actually look at what I'm missing out on,
The fat that you are consuming is like that. Long term, you can't sustain that.
what's wrong with fat?
You can't have that. Like the amount of fat that you're going to be having, the oils,
Cholesterols.
the cholesterol. Yeah, like
What's-
So I'm curious.
What's wrong with
So
cholesterol?
I'm curious with your. I'm also I'm studying
For
to be a
your
naturopath,
heart.
by the way. So
Oh,
this
cool.
is quite
for your
interesting.
arteries. Like
But what's
it's not.
I was gonna say, in your blood test, have you with your LDLs and your HDLs?
Yeah.
Are like they all
So
in
my
the
HDL
right levels?
so my HDL is high, my triglycerides are low, and then my LDL is starting to approach the upper limits.
Okay,
But
well then in itself that's a thing.
but what's the issue with cholesterol? I'm a bit
Well, your
confused.
LDLs, for example, like that's gonna be the plaque on the arteries. It's gonna lead to the arteriosclerosis and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
later on down the track. So
Yeah,
that
but-
definitely is not like
Cardiovascular
that's definitely not to
issues,
be
like-
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like been no causative studies that show that cholesterol has any like negative health outcomes. And did you?
Cholesterol negative health outcomes. Did
Yeah.
you just like
Yeah.
listen to what you just said?
Well, no causative evidence.
Of course,
So
it's definitely like
yeah.
there's blockages which will lead to a heart attack, which will like strokes, and there's absolutely so much evidence. You've got to
Yeah.
I know it's more like I know I'm sounding textbook right now, but there's
No, no.
absolute evidence for this.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely, like we could just get up and like study right now. There'll be evidence for it. Like
yeah, and
absolutely.
But it's not
and
causative.
and did you actually know that 50% of people that have a heart attack actually have low cholesterol? So like that's fact. Like 50% of people that have a heart attack have low cholesterol, and if you look at just thinking through logic, if you look at since around the last 50 years, we've drastically lowered our meat and cholesterol, and then for some reason the heart attack rates have tripled. We've decreased our meat and cholesterol intake by 33%, so by a lot, and then our heart attacks rate and cardiovascular disease has tripled. So how can we be decreasing meat and cholesterol, and then we're increasing heart attacks? It doesn't
As
really.
got
you
some
said,
interesting
processed
points in
foods,
Gavin.
Yeah.
though.
So-
It's all the processed foods. Like
So
you
it's
were
not
talking
meat
about.
then? Because we decrease in meat.
Meat is 100% in there in the processed foods, though. So overall, like by I guess population and everything, with what people are consuming, there's less meat being consumed now,
So-
as you say. But there's more processed food, and
Yeah.
some of that's meat, some of that's not.
Yeah.
So,
So
So
do you-
is it like what is your end goal with this? Like, would you like to like? Do you feel like like advocating for adopting just a meat kind of based diet is like going to lead to better health outcomes? Is that what you're kind of trying to pitch for?
Yeah,
or?
well, if you want me to just quickly anecdotally say the experiences that I felt in 4 months, I've lost 27 kilos, I've cured all my depression, I don't have any binge eating problems, I've cured my ADHD, inflammation, I had a lot of chronic pain and injuries, cured all my acne, essentially I just have scars.
I find inflammation really interesting because I know there's so much connected to meat with like even inflammation as well, so I find that really interesting.
Yeah, but it's more so just, I think it's just the carbohydrates, it's just lowering the carbohydrates drastically, because carbohydrates can, you know, our bodies aren't really meant to digest carbohydrates too much. We can make our own carbohydrates through a process of gluconeogenesis.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't know, just if you look through like ancestrally, we know that we evolved on meat for a lot of our evolution. We're eating carnivore diets. Humans are carnivores. We've got the stomach pH of 1.5. It's highly acidic, which would only be necessary if we were feasting on the carcasses of dead animals in nature, and things that have a lot of bacteria on them. And also, like stuff like stable nitrogen isotope 15 testing shows that we are in the like higher end of the food chain, similar to lions and stuff. So although it seems a bit crazy what I'm saying, I'm just really thinking about it, speaking to people.
I mean, look, I appreciate you seem that you have done some research. Like, I know there's numbers and you'd have to like look at all the studies and stuff, but I appreciate you put some time into it. Like, I know that you're not bullshitting yourself right now.
Well, I really appreciate you guys' open-mindedness and honesty. And it was great to talk to you guys. So, thank you so much. Thank you.